Walk around the compound. And a cute little tiger roll. Moo 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 and some stripes. Moo moo and an upside down kitty cat. Walk around the compound. Yeah. Okay, it's gonna be another bare bones one. I know. Sorry. That's two in a row. But the only reason that I have to do it this way is because it is a very, very busy week for us here at the compound. We have got the is it the 5th or is it the 6th? I think it's the 6th annual Furry Fiesta convention over in Dallas, where people of the furry persuasion come to congregate and exchange stories and cooking recipes and ears and tails and scruffs and yiffs and squeaks, yeah, stuff like that. But they've been having us as their sponsored and featured charity for the entire time that they've been in operation, ever since year one. And they've been raising a lot of money for us over the years, and we are very, very, very good and fond friends of the furries. But it takes a lot of logistical type stuff to get these things all situated. You are, oh my goodness. If you were a little kid, I would make you'd have to get a bath, like right away. Be like, what are you doing tracking mud into the house? Also, Editor Derek is busy doing another project. Yes, he is, Cassie. There's nothing you can do or say that is going to... I understand. It's a little bit frustrating. But he's actually working very diligently on an ambitious project that hopefully will be unveiled relatively soon. Okay. So we got those formalities out of the way, and now we have to get to probably what everyone is... currently wondering, or already know, I guess the big elephant. Most of you probably got the notification, the announcement, which technically, as far as today's, filming day is concerned, it would be going out today. But by the time you see us, it will have been announced yesterday. So for those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, we have some more bad news. Arctic is no longer with us. He had another battle with the bacterial flare-up that lived in his in his lungs, in his nasal cavity, and it was too much. It was just too much. He's been sick, I don't know how many times. I mean, I honestly, not even to, go to a cliched expression or figure of speech. I don't know. I can't tell you how many times he's been sick, and we've had to move him to the vet center, or move him up to the house, or move him here, or move him there. I mean, years. And every single time he would get sick, every single time it would chip away a little bit at him. His body and his brain. And we always kind of knew that, there was going to be a time at some point where he was going to get sick and he wasn't going to be able to get better. And that's pretty much what happened. He's always been able to be resilient and bounce back. Because, absolutely, unequivocally, because Heidi. And just how tireless tirelessly. She worked to keep him alive, to keep him with us. She worked and worked and worked. I mean, just not sleeping, you know, staying up all night to administer fluids, to give him nebulizer breathing treatments, to give him medicine, to try to get him to eat, you know, just a mouthful of food, just so he could sustain for a little bit longer and possibly pass the infection. I mean, she did this for years. For years. And he would bounce back, and he would have these great moments where he would be able to walk around and enjoy his... Hey, Papa. Hi. Where he was able to enjoy, you know, his comfort. He was able to enjoy kind of getting around, shaking his head when he would snuffle. So this one has been particularly difficult for her. Big boy. This one has been particularly difficult. You know, just when you fight so long, just fight and fight and fight and fight and fight. And then you have to be the one to make the call at the end, which is what, you know, she did. It's a position that I don't envy. Hey, bud. It's definitely a position I don't envy. But yeah, I don't want to dwell too much on the details of a lot of the pee on the end, but he was a shell of himself. We think that over the years of persistent and relapsing sicknesses, especially so high up in his nasal cavity that it could have eroded away at some of the cranial lining, thus making it a lot easier for subsequent infections to actually get into his brain, and then subsequently then give him, you know, brain damage as time would go on. I mean, but it wasn't just that, you know. I mean, like, opened him up, and I mean, years worth of the sickness took its toll on his organs. That was very, very apparent. So, I mean, he was kind of like that busted up car that you get to the mechanic, and then the mechanic basically looks at you, you know, after he pops open the hood, and he's like, I don't even know how this thing was driving. That's kind of archaic. Hi, Kelsey.
Hello.
Intern Kelsey. But yeah, it's a little bit easier to swallow this one, you know, I guess in some ways, just because he's been up and down for so many years, like so close to death's door for so many years. So, like, to hear that this happened, it's I know, and I'm sorry, and it's devastating, and this is a big slap of news and bricks and weight and trucks and other cumbersome analogies, but you know, we had to get all of our ducks in a row before we made any announcements, and also we had to wrap ourselves around this whole thing, you know, and allow ourselves time to grieve, because, you know, sometimes when I post things like, you know, in the immediate aftermath without anyone else's consent, I basically am opening up this flood of, you know, of people and constellations and questions and whatnot, when, you know, it should be kind of our turn to kind of grieve. You know, that's kind of part of it. Oh man, I'm running out of time. Crap. I guess I'm gonna have to edit a little bit together anyway, because I was running out of time, and then I was losing track and focus of the you know, my timing. But I'm only gonna just put the 2 videos together. I'm not gonna do any major editing. Wally, I was hoping to just get because if I get away with just a 10-minute recording, I can just simply upload it directly to YouTube from my phone. I don't even have to transfer it over to my computer, and that just saves a lot of time and hassle and blah 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 blah. Who cares? No, but yeah, it can sometimes be problematic, you know. I mean, when I'm, you know, when I post things without kind of allowing like the proper chain to be notified, you know, to let us come up with appropriate in memoriam type things when we can learn all the details, you know, and wait for like medical information to come back, you know. So yeah, that's definitely something that I've not necessarily been great at over the, and you know, we've had a lot of animals that have passed away, you know, these past few months. I mean, seemingly too many. I've been in that cemetery over there way too many times, and I think that we've lost at this point now, we've lost a cat a month for the last 5 months. We lost Jelani in October. You're gonna pee on me. Okay. We lost Jelani in October. We lost Ellie in November. We lost Jezebel in December. Levi in January, and no Arctic in February. All for different reasons. All because of conditions that couldn't be helped. Did our best, you know, but it sucks. It still sucks, regardless of the fact that, you know, we're doing our best, and we're trying to provide the best possible medical care and get the most expert opinions and consultations for all of these different animals. It still sucks. Still sucks. There's icicles. Look at those icicles over there. Sorry, there's a tiger right here, and I'm saying, oh, look at the icicles. I think that this is a little bit more interesting. Yeah, you are. You are. So yeah, I know that this is probably very, for some of you who are just hearing about this news in the webcast right now, yeah, this really sucks, because you know, you're watching this old icicles. Oh, there's a cat playing behind it. That's great. Well, we're getting a whole scene of things happening right now. Let's move this over just a little bit. Ah, look at that. Isn't it amazing how these things sometimes work out? Icicles, balls, cats, and Flash. That bud. There's a fence there. There's a fence there. So yeah. You know, and I hate to say this, but we're not gonna be done. You got cats like this, like Zeus over here. Hi, bud. I hate to say it, but you know, he's old. He's an old fella, and he's been doing great. He's been doing great, but you get yourself caught up in like, hey, he looks good, he's doing great. You start to think like he's just gonna last forever. He's not. He's gonna be gone someday soon, relatively speaking. I would be amazed if Zeus lasts another year. I would be. Just because he's old. He's an old fella. And he's big. Big old boys just don't last long like he does. Like he has already. So he's already on borrowed time. He's already on borrowed time. Hey, Choppers. Oh, yeah. You know, and it's a bittersweet. But I mean, I guess we can take consolation in knowing that Arctic he most definitely would have been gone years ago if it wasn't for Heidi. I mean, like, in many ways, he too was on borrowed time. I mean, he has been sickly his entire life. He's had different injuries that, you know, almost caused him to, you know, perish when he was a cub, that required intensive rehabilitation therapy. I mean, you know, from the time that he was a baby, he was a gift. He was a gift. Not meant long for this world. Mired by malady. Both physical, and genetic, mental. So yeah. Our boy. Yeah, I might put some stuff, you know, on here, since I'm going to be putting this thing on the computer anyway. I got no choice. Did 2 videos. I gotta. Excuse me. I don't know why everyone is so excited. It's leopard and cougar feed day. It's not tiger feed day. And of course, you know, you're gonna post things on Vine, and you're gonna get a bunch of, you know, douchebags that are gonna be commenting and saying just like, well, you know, this conspiracy, what's going on with that over there, these things and stuff like that. And it's, you know, whatever. Cassie squeaks. Make it all better. Yeah. A lot of snow leopards actually in captivity. They don't really make it to upper teens too much. I mean, the whole captive pool is pretty genetically weak. I guess we just kept on thinking, like, maybe we're gonna be special. Maybe we're gonna provide him with like different types of care. Maybe we're gonna do something different, and we're gonna get him further to that finish line than the others could have. You know. See, I've had time to wrap my head around this whole thing, so, you know, I'm able to kind of just speak a little bit more empirically, more logically, you know, about this whole thing, about this whole occurrence. I'm sure that some of you are very upset right now, and I'm sorry. Like I said, this was something that I guess it's not a surprise in a way. It's not like Jelani. Like Jelani, that was bad. I got the call. I got the call from Heidi. She was crying, and she said, "Look at that over there. Yeah. Oh, going up. Frisky kitties." She was crying, and she called, and she said, "Jelani is dead." Those words. There was nothing like, I think Jelani might be, or there's something wrong with it. No, it was in absolute terms. That was a truck. That was a turn your world upside down type moment. But no, Arctic, it's very sad. And, you know, keep on rooting for the other outcome to be the case, but it's not exactly a surprise, I guess. Oh, there's a kitty cat over here who keeps on yapping all throughout my webcast. End it. Good girl. I'll talk to you folks later, okay? Bye-bye. Bye-bye.